all you SoCal surf enthusiasts. This is Dan with the SoCal Surf Report. We are going to Newport today. Just looked at the cameras this morning, and it was waist high to shoulder high from what it looked like. And so we headed down there. Newport breaks even when the tide is extremely high, whereas Huntington, it starts to fizzle. And that's what I noticed on the cameras, is that it would break and then it would fizzle, and then so you had a short ride at Huntington. The size was about the same. Like I say, in wintertime, Newport breaks a little bit better than in the summer. So when it's breaking at Newport, you can ride the waves a lot longer. They're a little hollower, and so it's pretty good. So we went down to Newport, and we went later. We didn't go as early as we usually go. Picked up a couple of rookies, newbies in the water. So had a foam board and another little board, and so by the time we got the kids in the car and headed out, it was like an hour later. So instead of 6:37, it was 7:38 before we got there. Got in the water after 8 o'clock, and the sun was out, and so that made it a lot nicer. The water is still acceptable. It's still in the low 60s. Once it drops below 60 into the 50s, that's when it starts to be a little more painful. So right now, water's good. The sun was out, so it was a beautiful day. And when the sun's out, of course, the water's got a nice blue. It's just gorgeous. Just a beautiful day. No wind, so the waves were glassy. So we headed out close to the jetty at first. I walked down a little bit towards the Lifeguard 24, which is the north end of the parking lot if you're at the pier area. And I went out there, and the first couple of waves were really good size. They were big and strong, and so got a good left, and then I got a really good right. And then the current kind of drifted a little bit north, so I was going towards the jetty. And that's so when the newbies came out, and the waves had kind of started to get smaller as the day went on. And I went out early because I already had my wetsuit on, so I was out in the water before they were. They had to get dressed and walk their boards down and all that, so I got in there a little earlier. So I caught some, like I say, lefts and rights, and then the first wave that the rookie caught, the girl, her nose went under and she went flying over the board and hit the bottom, apparently on her back, so she must have flipped over. So it was a pretty violent crash, wipeout if you want to call it. And so she got discouraged and went in after the first wave, and then Craig went after her, and they rode some of the shore waves, the whitewater, for a while, and so she was quite happy doing that. And that's where most rookies should start, is in the whitewater, because that's where you learn to balance, learn how to control the waves, and learn how to fall. Instead of hitting the bottom, you got to do more of a belly flop and get away from the board. So a lot of the fundamentals you can learn in the whitewater without risking it too hard. And the other guy, the guy that was with us, was a little older, and he caught a few waves. And then I saw one coming, and I pointed to him and told him go, and he took off, and it was a nice little right. And so he was able to catch it, stand up, and turn right for like his only second or third time. That's pretty darn good for a rookie. So that went really well. And then after Craig had worked the shore there for a little bit, he came out and was riding some of the other waves, and it was bigger towards the south, towards the pier, and the current kept pushing us north, and so we tried to stay together, so we kind of stayed to the north end of that section. I wanted to go further south towards the pier, but I never made it. But I can't complain. I had some great rides. I took a really good left that took off and just kind of slid down and came off the bottom real smooth, like glass. And as I took off down the line, it started to close out, so I arched back underneath the lip, and still real smooth, probably the smoothest turn I've had in quite some time, maybe a couple of weeks. And then just came out underneath that lip and shot out in front of the wave. Then it broke behind me, and then I just pushed the tail back on the board so I would drift out towards the back of the wave. It wasn't that big. It was probably only waist high, maybe shoulder. And so it was easy after it broke to just get out of it without having too much. And at Newport, when you jump out of a wave, it's usually waist to knee high if you've ridden it a while. And that's something you got to be careful with, because people don't realize that shallow water. If you try diving after you surfed or you crash, you don't want to dive in, because if you hit the bottom with your head, you're gonna break something, and that's not good. So you want to belly flop or flop over to one side or the other. Don't dive in, or jump if you want. There has been a stingray warning, so I don't know if jumping is the answer either, but belly flop or lean off to one side and just head back out. So got a really good left. Real happy with that one. I got a right that I liked. Bottom turn went well, and I just kind of it wasn't a long ride, so it was one bottom turn, then one turn off the top, and both of them went real smooth. And the rest were kind of closeouts. I'd catch them and turn one way or the other, and then just kind of peel off because it just closed out and there was nowhere to go. So, but overall, just a beautiful day, just sunny, warm. I mean, it's 60s and 70s. It's not 80s, but for surfing, that's perfect weather. So it was a perfect day weather-wise. A real good day in the water, glassy. Not really that big, but big enough to make your turns and stuff. So it went really well. And then that was kind of it. There wasn't anything really eventful. So we kind of just took our waves and then went in. And that was it. Went home. And we'll see what tomorrow shall bring. Looks like it's going to be sunny still. It's high pressure moving in. It rained the last 2 days, Sunday and Monday. It was mostly raining. Monday kind of cleared up mid-morning, and then as the day went on, it got sunnier and warmer. And so usually after a rainstorm, we don't want to go in the water right away. And we didn't. We didn't surf on Monday. Need time for to clear, as they say, in the ocean, get some of the poop and bacteria to wash out. But it was a pretty good rain that came through, so there's a lot of water rushing towards the ocean, a lot of washing of the earth, let's say, and it goes all into the ocean. It takes a while for nature to clean itself, so we waited a day, which was good. Sometimes it's better to wait 2 days, but so we took a little break there. Didn't surf much last week, only like one day last week we surfed, and it was pretty weak. So looks like it's going to start getting better again, which is good. High pressure, very good for surfing. You need low pressures out in the ocean to make the waves, but after that, the high pressure works better. All right, thanks for listening. Beautiful day in the ocean. Check out our sponsors, Merch Hero, NapKitClothing.com, Swing Easy Hammocks, and TaskBullet.com. Thank you for listening. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.